Jace Tunnell here with the Mission Aransas Research Reserve at the University of Texas Marine Science Institute. Today we are talking about the ultimate beachcombing find, and that is messages in a bottle. So I'm going to go through a couple of the messages in a bottle that I found. Actually, I found all these except for this old one right here. All these others I'd actually found, and you'll notice some of them are different types of bottles. I even have plastic bottle ones here, but most of them are glass. Some of them actually come with money, so I don't know if you can see that one, but this one actually has money inside with a note. So the etiquette with messages in a bottle when they send them is you're supposed to actually put money in them, so that and put your address on the note, so that somebody can write you back. They can afford the postage. And so whenever I find these, what I end up doing is, usually there's moisture or water, something like that inside of there. So I'll end up taking everything out. Sometimes I actually have to let the letter and stuff dry out, which can sometimes take a couple of weeks. I found this one, on last Thursday. And so this one is still damp inside. I'm waiting for this to dry out. But you let it dry out, then you can see what it says. I let it all dry out, and then I put everything back in there. So even the money, so I'm not gonna go cash that money. But the cool thing about this one right here is that I found this one after a storm on Mustang Island, after Hurricane Harvey. And there's a dollar bill in there in the Carnival Cruise Line envelope, and that's what the letter was written on. And this was 11 years old. It was written 11 years before I found it, and it was a couple that lives up a little north of Austin. At the time, they didn't have any kids. They were just going out on a Carnival Cruise Line, had some wine, ended up putting a message in a bottle and throwing it overboard, and actually got in contact with them. And so now they have a couple of kids and things like that. So that's pretty cool. You can make some friends with this. I never condone throwing anything in the ocean, but if you're gonna do it, don't use plastic. So I want to tell you the final thing here that I'll tell you is that here's a plastic bottle, and this one you'll notice, I don't know if you can see inside of there, but it's typed. It's a typed message. And when I found it, I ended up opening it up, and it was what it had typed on there was, this guy had said, email me, and it had his email, and it had a number on there. It said 27,761. He said, let me know that number, because that identifies where he threw it in, and he was doing an ocean currents project or whatever. He said that I'll let you know how old it is and stuff like that. So what happened is he threw this in January 29th, 2014, somewhere Destin, Florida. He was on a pier and he threw it out into the ocean. That number of 27,761 actually signifies how many bottles he had thrown in, which blew my mind. So he asked me to fill it out, type in where I found it, the date, all that kind of stuff, and then put my letter back in it with his, and then throw it back in. I told him he's crazy. There's no way that I'm going to be throwing a plastic bottle back out into the ocean. So he never responded back, but I did put my letter that I typed him back in the bottle. So I've got that memory there. Anyway, I think the moral of the story is don't be throwing anything back into the ocean. It can impact wildlife big time. What I have found is green bottles, you can still see the writing and stuff like that, but if people send in or they put their messages in a clear bottle, it fades out whatever they're writing on. So this one here, I still don't know what it says. There's definitely writing on it. I guess I could get a pencil or something like that, but because it was in a clear bottle, the letters just faded out, and so I can't see anything. I don't know, they must have used pen or something like that. This one says LSU on it. They put 30 notes on there, like love notes. And so there's a bunch of pieces of paper in here, and they wrote all kinds of nice things in there, although they didn't leave an address or email address or phone number or anything, so I don't know how to get a hold of them. Okay, and the last one I'll talk about is this one was written by a 4th grader out of Louisiana, and it put a map in there of where of the Gulf of Mexico and the ocean currents, and that they were doing, this class in Louisiana was doing ocean currents project. And so I ended up actually I didn't contact him. I put on social media, I put that I'd found a message in a bottle, and the local media here in Corpus Christi did a news story on it, and they contacted the boy and the teacher. It was in the ocean for 3 years before I found it. And so he was real surprised, because now he's like, what's that, he's in 7th grade, no, 7th grade, he's in 7th grade now. And so he was able to find, you know, tell all his classmates and stuff like that. His whole class, this was the last bottle out of his class that hadn't been found yet. And so I thought that was real interesting. But anyway, if you want to find a message in a bottle, you know, where would you look? You got to get up when the sun comes up. I mean, early. So you got to get up, because think of all the people on the beach that want to find shells, messages in a bottle, bags of money, which I'm still looking for, I've never found. But you got to get up real early and get out there. So look at the high tide line, you know, where all the stuff comes in, sticks and all that, that's where you'll find them. And I'll show some video in this video of some that I've picked up and found. So I found it in the high tide line. After a storm, I'll find them at the base of the sand dunes, or even on top or over the sand dunes in big piles of debris. Now there's a whole, after storms, there's lots and lots of not only glass bottles, but plastic bottles and stuff like that. Most of them don't have anything in them, but every once in a while you'll find one that does. And so I'll put some video of those in there. It's real exciting, and if you find one, don't just go up and grab it. You'll notice in the videos I'll show you, you can actually take video of yourself going down, grabbing it and picking it up, and that gives you a little something, memory to remember what it looked like and stuff like that. So anyway, that's it for messages in a bottle. I know some of y'all were wanting to hear some of those. It's kind of hard to do a beachcombing message in a bottle and just walking up on one, so I figured I'd show you some of these others that I found. But thanks for letting me know of the beachcombing episodes that you want to hear about, and I'll keep trying to bring those to you. Okay, till next time, talk to you later.